Hey guys, welcome back to Angel and Angela. And as you guys can see by the title, I am going to talk a little bit about how narcissists interrogate you. The narcissists, you guys, they love to interrogate you. They love asking you personal questions. They love trying to figure you out, trying to study you, trying to label you, trying to bully you. They're constantly seeking to devour, seeking to destroy you. This is someone who is wicked. This is someone who, no matter how much of a great person that they're trying to portray the image of someone who is untouchable, someone who doesn't get offended easily, right? But at the same time, if you were free of your past, if you were free of the evil that you've done, if you were free from your circumstances, from the things that you face across on a daily basis, you wouldn't seek to interrogate people to get information to validate your own self-importance. So to the narcissists, because they're not like you, when you speak of these things, they're like, oh, you think you have me figured out. Oh, you think that, excuse me, you think that I don't love myself because I'm bullying someone, or because I'm asking someone questions, or because I'm trying to demean someone. So when a narcissist interrogates you, most of the time, you're gonna come across a lot of narcissists that interrogate you, right? Some of them will not interrogate you because they might look at you as a threat. So someone who interrogates you, chances are this person is a liar. Someone interrogating you, this person is a liar and a gaslighter. So you'll realize in conversations, they'll jump ahead trying to tell you who you are before you finish what you're saying. So you can be saying, I don't want to have children, and they can say, yeah, you do. You do want to have. You just tell yourself that. So they're trying to give insight to who you are. They'll make conclusions based off of what you said, and you almost have to say, oh no, that's not what I mean, or no, I don't feel that way. You have to constantly rewind and explain yourself when you shouldn't even be talking to this person. So someone interrogating you will even use kindness and offer you things, or tell you they're going to do something that they're clearly not going to do. They're just asking you questions. Other times, they're interrogating you after they've even abused you, just to see if you're going to get back at them, or if you're going to expose them to the people around them or the people closest to you. So they'll interrogate you about the things that they're doing, right? And while they're interrogating you, they're accusing you of those things to other people as well. So they interrogate you enough to hurt you. So instead of interrogating you, they try to avoid you, or they give you ugly faces, or they even might come at you really friendly and smiley. They might want to seem like, hey, we have a lot in common. I think me and you, our IQ, the way we think, the way we perceive the world, the universe, I think we're very much alike in many ways. And that's because they feel like they can abstract some type of information to validate themselves, or they feel like they can get in good with you to build connections with the people around you. So they might just look at you as supply, right? You're just supply. So you'll get a different version of them where they might come off a little bit more respectful They might ask you a couple things that might not even seem personal. And by the time you turn around, you don't even realize that you're under the narcissist spell, because those little questions that they asked you that might have seemed irrelevant, or they might have even seemed to you as not being really personal in your private life, but you're kind of letting them in a little bit. You feel like, oh, it's not personal, but it's just, I'm making conversation. When at the end of the day, you don't even owe this person anything. You do not even owe them a conversation. You don't owe them they're a complete stranger. Stranger danger. Don't take candy from strangers. Don't interact with people that you don't know. And I want to clear that up. It's not about not interacting with people, because we are energy and it's okay. And sometimes when people choose, what you'll notice is that certain people will choose to share things with you, but you already know you're not looking to exploit them, and that's where you can give them good advice. Sometimes you're dealing with narcissists playing the victim, but you don't feel like you gave up your energy to someone, right? So it's not about not interacting with people, but see, the conversation can go well. We can talk about music, we can talk about, movies, we can talk about everything. But when you come out of nowhere and start asking something personal, it gives me a red flag, because I wasn't even thinking about asking you that, right? That's where you draw the line. Sometimes, you run across where people just say certain things out of genuine curiosity, but you have to be wise enough to determine if that's actually what it is, or if they're fishing for information. Most of the time, they're fishing for information. Right? Sometimes you're around a group of people, and sometimes people are interacting, everyone's having a good time, and you don't realize that just like in a party, in a concert, in the midst of that fun, there's always a narcissist lurking. There's always a narcissist collecting data. Oh, this person, they're distracted. Oh, this person, they won't be back to their car in a couple of hours. Oh, oh, what are you guys? Oh, you guys are going to this event too? Oh, we're going there too. Where did you guys? Oh, we rented this out. We rented that out. Oh, my family is a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm this, I'm that. They start telling you things of themselves. Oh, I get into these concerts all the time. I have friends and stuff like that. They make themselves bigger than what they are. They promise you things. They're interrogating you. They're asking you questions. They're getting close to you, and then they're giving you false information. They're giving you a false identity. They're giving you a version of a mask. They're lying. In the mind of the narcissist, they don't feel like those lies that they're telling you are a big deal, because to them, they feel like, I don't know you. They look at you like you're a stranger. They don't know you. They feel like you might do something to them. They feel like you might be dangerous. They might know, hey, I seeked you. You seem like perfect prey, but at the end of the day, I still have to watch my back. I have to interrogate you. You might be connected to someone that I know. You might run in the same societal circle that I'm around, in the same area. They're constantly studying you, interrogating you. And the simplest things that you tell these people that I don't feel like a lot of people realize, because, once upon a time, I was an open book. Even if I felt like I was being private, if I felt like, oh, I'm not really sharing anything private about my life, right? But I would come across situations where I felt like I kept getting targeted by narcissists. And I would think to myself, like, I'm not doing anything to them. Like, it's like they're everywhere. They're in the workforce. They're all over the place. There's more of them. And a lot of them pretend to be empaths. They really feel like, because of what they've been through in their life, that they're good people, but they're constantly sinning. They're constantly doing wrong. They don't have respect for other human beings. So it lets you know right there and then that you're dealing with people that once upon a time, they asked you simple questions. You didn't know why they were targeting you. You might have told them, hey, they're like, hey, where do you live? Now they know what area do you live. Now they're competing with you. Now they're, oh, what do you like to do for fun? Do you like to go out? Oh, I'm not a very, I like doing things that are more, relaxing for me. I like taking hikes. I like doing this. So the narcissist is constantly interrogating you. So the smallest question that they ask you, what do you like to do for fun? And you're like, oh, I'm a very laid back person. They're thinking, oh, now I don't really have to take you out anywhere. I don't really have to go take you out. It's not going to take me a lot to impress you because you're a homebody, right? So they're already thinking ahead. They're thinking, oh, you're a laid back person. So that means that you most likely are a faithful person. You most likely don't have time to cheat because it's not something that you indulge in. So now I know that you're someone that's just boring and that I can do things to undermine you because you won't even realize I'm undermining you because I'm giving you the perfect presentation of a perfect gentleman or the perfect dream girl, right? So these people are constantly interrogating you, asking you the simplest things, right? Oh, do you have a boyfriend? Are you married? Do you have children? Anything that they can ask you to abstract information to flip it on you, they will flip it on you. It's better to not even know these people. It's better not to interact with these people because you will feel the difference between someone who's an empath, who's a giver, who doesn't want anything from you, because it's going to be something where they're not going to want to change you. They're not going to want to force information out of you. They're not going to want to force drama and toxicity out of you. Everything is going to come from a place of love, a place of peace. It's never going to feel like someone is trying to connect to you through trauma, through problems, through the past. It's never going to feel like someone is forcing you to open up or they're forcing you to give up more information or bringing up things that you didn't even bring up, right? So you're going to be able to tell the difference. And like I said, a lot of times, back in the day, I used to think to myself, why do I always fall a target to these people? And, I haven't really been on YouTube in a while. And anytime you guys see that I haven't been uploading for weeks at a time, it usually means I'm downloading, I'm just taking in the information around me, what's happening around me, how people are behaving, the energies around me. And these people wear you out so much, right? That you don't even feel like talking. You don't even feel like talking. So when I do come on here and I talk and I make these videos, it's because I've gained enough energy to be able to even translate what's going on in my mind, what's been going on in my mind. And it's not that it bothers me. It's that these are things that I know are very important in order for someone to just live a peaceful life, period. Because people don't even realize how quickly they get sucked into these things. Because, see, when a narcissist interrogates you, there's a purpose behind it. They want something. They need something. These are greedy people. First of all, they're interrogating you because they're greedy. These are greedy people. They're scammers. They're interrogating you because they're trying to scam you. They're interrogating you because they might want to steal from you. They might want to copy from you. They might want to mimic traits or personality traits or things that might help them for future supply. These are very jealous people. This is another one. It might not be none of that. It might just be jealousy. So this person might come to you as someone who's positive, but there's jealousy boiling down inside of them. A lot of times the narcissist cannot, when they're interrogating you, they cannot control that anger. So if they feel like you're in a position of power, sometimes you're not even in a position of power. Sometimes you're just living your day-to-day life, and you're barely existing in this world. You're barely able to pay your bills. You're barely able to just make a decent living in order not to ask anyone else for anything, right? You're basically barely you're surviving, right? And you don't think about the survival because you want to be able to live in that peace where hey, I'm not just surviving, I'm living as well, because I don't need to be a millionaire to live, even though I know the position I've been put in that has been forced on me, but I'm going to make the most of it, because if I don't have that peace, I will be envious of other people. I will be jealous of other people. I would behave just like the narcissist, right? So a lot of times the jealousy will cause the narcissist to interrogate you. I've had that happen many times where you might not even be in a position of power, but because these narcissists, right, they lack education, some of them, they might feel like you're smarter. They might feel like you have more opportunities in them, but they're going to make sure they take those opportunities from you. They're going to make sure that they say false things about you. They interrogate you. They say false things about you, right? They try to get information from you. They try to flip that information to justify their false allegations against you to other people so that it can validate what other people have also accumulated information and put together this information as a hive mind, almost to basically, to almost try to make these false perceptions about people, a class of people. So they put things that are, things that have been put out there to brainwash people, things that are not true about others, So they try to put all these false narratives that have already been put out there, and put these false narratives to blur people's perception of who you are, so that people won't even look at you like a human being. They can look at you as that false image that has been put out there through social media, through society standards, what society views you or your ancestors or your family or whatever the case is. So these people will gather information, right? And then you might not do anything. You might not even be in a position of power. But what they will do is that they will slowly start interrogating you. Where are you from? Where are your family? I have so many people, and these are older narcissists that are sometimes even twice my age, where they think you're so dumb, right? And they'll start asking you questions about your parents, and I'll think to myself, I'm a whole ass adult, right? I'm not a little kid, right? I'm not a child. So as an adult, I find it very weird, very, very strange when another grown ass adult, excuse my language, is asking me, interrogating me, right? I've shared with you guys I'm biracial and things like that. So I find it very strange when I'm being interrogated by different races of people about who I am as a person, just from my personal experience, so that it can be a little bit clear to you, because we all go through this with narcissists in many different ways because of who we are, and we're all different in our own ways. But the interrogation will be, are your parents married? Are your parents still together? What race is your mom? What race is your dad? And I find it just strange because, like I said, as an adult, I'm not interrogating other people, asking them questions about their parents, right? I'm not asking a whole, if someone comes up to you and starts asking you questions about your mom, your dad, you don't live with your parents, you're an adult, you're living your own life, you started your own family, you're going to find it very strange that a stranger is asking you about your parents and you're like, I don't know why you're asking me about my parent. Like, that's something that someone I'm close to will ask me. My sibling, my aunt, my cousin, my grandparent, whatever. They're going to be the ones to ask me, how's your parents doing? So when a stranger is asking you, interrogating you on that, they're just trying to fish for information, because now they want to know, how old are your parents together? Oh, whose side are you on? Are you on your dad's side? Are you closer to your dad's side of the family? Are you closer to your mom's side of the family? Why does that matter? Because you're trying to make your own interpretation of what you think my life is based on what you've heard and based off of what others have said. And you're trying to make it seem like, oh, you came from a fatherless home, I bet. I bet your father's a deadbeat. I bet your mom regrets having you. I bet you're an abomination. You're not one of us. So while they're smiling in your face because you can relate to them and you can have respect towards their heritage because they are a part of your heritage, you're a part of them and they are a part of you, whether they like to accept it because they hate half of you, you almost have to, it's like they see you as a different breed, a different animal, but you see them as the animal that they are because you've been around them your whole life. So you could see it in their eyes. You can see the jealousy. You could see the hate. You can see that every question that is being asked because to them, it's like, we all know how your people are. We all know they all have an assumption, right? They interrogated me because of that assumption. So now I can go somewhere, I can speak a different language, and now they have this confused face, right? Like, she's speaking like us, she understands us. So now they're thinking because they've made their own assumptions. They've already established, I hate this type of person. I don't like this type of person, or I think I'm better than this type of person. They've already created what they believe this whole race of people are, right? So now you come across someone like me. I understand you. I can see right through you. But now you're forced to face your demons because you're forced to realize that you can't make assumptions about people because even though you came at me very respectful, you had already made your own assumptions in your brain about who I am as a person. And people establish whether they're going to respect you or not, right? You can use the bathroom. You can't use the bathroom. You're homeless, right? So people already make their assumptions in their brain. So when now they're hearing you speak their language, now they have to take back all the hate, all the things that they said, because now someone is looking them in the eyes, speaking their own language. And now they're being tested because they can either respect you as a human being or disrespect you. And because they want it so badly to disrespect you, now they're going to come off nice. Oh, who taught you how to speak like that? They almost think you're playing a game or playing a joke, but they don't realize, hey, the world isn't what you think it is. You're believing things that are statistics or things, you're believing things and you're forcing those beliefs on people that are complete strangers to you. And if you're that type of person, that lets me know, as narcissistic as you are, you come across other narcissists, because if you judge people by, you're judging a book by its cover and you haven't even read the book, that means that you go and you pick out the most the most low rated books. You go and you pick a book because of how it looks, but the pages are blank. And then when you get played, you're the victim again. But you're constantly interrogating other people. You're constantly judging people. And when you look back, you think to yourself, I'm not a bad person. I didn't deserve for my husband to do this. I didn't deserve for my wife to do this. I didn't deserve for my family to do this. I didn't deserve for people to steal from me. I didn't deserve for people to leave me out of this position, job, or business, or inheritance. I didn't expect it. So a lot of people, they'll play victim when it comes to a lot of things, but they do micromanage people who are empaths, and they do things and say things and interrogate people and build false narratives on people. And sometimes it's the pure jealousy of the fact that they tried to label you. It didn't work. And now what happens is now you become a target. So I realized I became a target all the time, where now it's like, well, my assumptions about you are wrong. Now I'm studying you because I've never met someone like you up close and personal. Now I'm studying you. Now I'm seeing that you might be more intelligent than me. So now I have to sabotage you, because if I don't sabotage you, you might take me out of my position. But not only might you take me out of my position, you might end up hiring people that I hate. You might end up taking in people that I hate, and you might surpass me. So now the jealousy comes out, and now they're coming close to you. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, how was your weekend? What did you do this weekend? They're asking you questions that are irrelevant. If you did not share anything with anyone, it's none of their business. If you didn't come out and say, oh, this weekend I went to so-and-so. If you didn't openly share something and someone is trying to get something out of you and seek information, you have to be very careful. So whatever you decide to share, that's on you. But now when people are coming around, what did you do this weekend? And they're coming close to you. They're like, oh, this person's nice. This person doesn't even know that I secretly don't like them. So while you're thinking they're your friend, they're thinking, these narcissists, they're not built like you. They've interrogated you. They're like, oh, this person doesn't even realize that we're not friends. We're coworkers. She doesn't even realize that. He doesn't even realize that. They might get you to do things that you shouldn't do. They might tell you, hey, let's go hang out on our lunch break. I've seen people who, I know someone personally that I'm close to who was going out to lunch on her lunch break with her coworkers, and they would sit there and chit chat, and they would talk about the boss, because the boss would do little sneaky stuff, or she would take her position to another level where it was very controlling, right? It's a difference between being a leader and being controlling. So that's where you'll see that narcissists, they become controlling in the workplace. And what you'll see the difference between, you'll see that there'll be some good people that you can work with. And the reason you'll like certain bosses is because they're leaders, right? Certain bosses that are empaths, that can see everything. They can see the good, the bad. They can see all the angles. And those are the people that the narcissist does not like. Those are the people that the narcissist tries to sabotage, right? They work really hard at sabotaging those people so that they can invade every part of society, right? These people are like roaches. They invade every part of society, every job place, from the education system to the medical system to the person on the drive-through saying, hey, honey, you want a Coke with that? So these people invade every part of society. And what this friend didn't know at the time, because this person kept talking about, they would talk about the boss or whatever. And my friend said, one day I just had something told me, look up this coworker you're always with at lunch. Look her up on Facebook. She looked her up on Facebook. Something told her to do it. And she finds out, she goes through her pictures and finds out that the boss and her coworker were actually sisters, right? So she had to go through HR and everything, and then she found out quickly that HR and everyone was connected. They're roaches. These narcissists are literally roaches. They're pests. They're everywhere, right? We need to spray something on them, right? So she finds out that, hey, this person, they've been hanging out, they've been talking about this person, yet they were running back. They can't really do anything. I'm a good worker, but they don't like me. So it doesn't even become about the work. It doesn't become about good workers. It becomes about hiring and firing, because we're in here acting like high schoolers. Right? We're out here gathering information. We're out here interrogating people. We're over here undercover cops and shit. We're undercover cops that don't get paid. We're out here undercover detectives. We're fake police officers and security guards, right? They're going over and beyond, right? The narcissist goes over and beyond to interrogate and destroy people. And these people go home to their families every single day, only thinking about feeding their families and taking care of their kids and making sure their kids have everything, but they just went and interrogated, sabotaged, and fired someone and went off about their merry way. And they actually felt like that person, that empath, deserved that, all because of the jealousy, hate, and the hate that they just carry inside of them. So to them, it's like, it's almost amusing to the narcissist. It's all a game, right? So if you're aware of the interrogating tactics, and you tell these people, don't be afraid. See, this is the thing. I used to be I always, in those circumstances where I felt like people were hitting me with questions, I didn't want to answer the question, so sometimes I would go around the question and ask that person a question back. Kind of like, oh, I'm just going to ask this person a question back because they're asking me questions, so I'm just ask a question back. And you could tell that when narcissists interrogate you and you ask them questions back right away, their answers come very quickly. Like they don't really want to stay talking about themselves. They really want to go back to you. So if you ask them questions back and then they answer the question, you're going to see they're going to answer the question really fast. And then what that's going to make you do naturally, right? Because they're going to say something, whatever they answer, why? What do you like to do for fun? Oh, I like watching old vintage movies. Okay, so that might make you, if you're into the same thing, you might say, oh, one of my favorite movies is Casablanca and whatever. You can, now you're talking, right? And now you're like, what, you like watching classic movies. This is my favorite classic movie. What's your favorite classic movie, right? So now you're asking them another question. You know what that's doing to the narcissist? It's pissing them off, because when they signed up to interrogate you, they weren't even expecting you to ask them questions back, because as an empath, if you are oblivious to narcissism and you haven't dealt with these people to the point where they finally made you realize what evil was, to the point where now when you see evil, you actually run away from it. You don't say, oh, I know that's my friend and they're evil, but they're not evil with me. Oh, I know my friend is not the type of person I am, but they're still my friend, and I don't judge them because of what they do. So now when you go through the evil of narcissism and you realize certain people are just not like you, and that's why people were warning you and it's dangerous. Now, when you see the red flags, you flee from it, and you also are aware of it. So when you're asking questions back, the narcissist feels like you're interrogating them, and they don't like it. You could feel their energy. It starts to get angry. You could feel that now they get quiet. First it was like they were getting a high because they almost knew they were going to start interrogating you. But now that you're asking them questions, now they're like, "Oh, I'm going to shut the hell up," because they might start asking me more questions. They might ask me where I work at. They might start asking me personal questions that I don't want to answer because I was planning on interrogating them, right? Or you might just get a different type of narcissist who's like, "Oh, you think I'm supposed to back down because you interrogated me, huh? You're going to start asking me personal questions. I know you are, but when you start asking me personal questions, I'm just going to lie. It's going to seem real because it's going to be like, why would you lie about that? But I'm going to lie because I don't like the fact that you're asking me questions back. I was supposed to just ask you questions and you were supposed to tell me the truth so that my perception could be correct about you, because I don't like you and I'm trying to find reasons not to like you even more and to feel like I'm better than you. And if you start asking me questions, I'm just going to lie to you, and it's going to make me feel like I'm in charge or I'm in a position of power because you're believing my fucking lies. And that way I can start asking you more questions again and figure you out. And as you're talking, I can tell by the tone of your voice, you're a very peaceful person. I could tell that you don't really like drama. So you're probably a lonely person. You probably don't have friends. So now I'm going to ask you, about your family. Now I'm going to ask you about your friends because I feel like you don't really have a lot of friends because you're talking to me and I'm a stranger. And really, you shouldn't even have been talking to me this long. You should have shut up a long time ago. You should have ignored me. You should have just stopped this conversation, because at this point, I'm interrogating you without you even knowing I'm interrogating you, because I'm literally a whole freaking blood-sucking vampire paying attention to every detail about you, your facial expressions, the way you breathe, where your eye movements go. Are you afraid? Do you get nervous? Do you start scratching your nose? Do you fake cough? Do you do you get nervous and start biting your lip? Do you look away? Do you start moving your fingertips? They start interrogating you as if you're in an interrogation room, and now they're trying to see you sweat. They're trying to see the sweat beads coming down your forehead, okay? So this is what I mean with narcissists interrogate you. It's the worst feeling in the world, because right after you're done talking to these people, you will feel like you have no energy. You will feel like, why did I even share that with them? That was none of their business. I shouldn't even have said that. Or sometimes you might you might feel like, you said too much without saying much. But then you feel like, if I would have told them, I don't really feel comfortable with those questions. Why do you want to know that? If I tell them straight up, right, you're almost embarrassed. Like, you're like, not embarrassed, but especially depending on the situation, first of all. So let's just say you're in a business setting. You might feel like, if you tell this person, I don't feel comfortable asking that question, they're going to feel like you don't like them. And that's not the case, right? You, as an empath, do not like anybody just because you don't feel comfortable. You can keep being friends with someone you just didn't want to talk about certain things. But you feel like by you not answering, it's going to offend someone. And you might even feel like, oh, this person might tell my boss I don't have good customer service, or this person might think I'm evil and I'm rude, right? Because I've had moments where I'm being honest with people. I don't feel comfortable sharing certain things, and they take it as an insult. Like, how dare you? Because they're so used to social media and people that actually put their life out there. So when they come across people that are like empaths, we don't do that because we've been in dangerous situations. They don't realize the danger of it. And it's like, if you don't realize the danger of it, you're a danger to me and to yourself. But you don't see that, but you're making it seem like I'm the bad person and you're the empath because you feel like I'm closed in. So I'm supposed to be mean. I'm mean because I'm just not an open book. Just because I'm not an open book, you look at me as being mean. So now I feel obligated to share things that are irrelevant, but I feel like it'll make you feel comfortable enough to trust me. So now I have to share with you something that is meaningless, like, I just bought my freaking cat or dog a new toy, or I taught my dog a new trick or something. Now I have to tell you some bullshit that I really don't even want to talk about, but it's just to make you feel like we're okay, or else because you want to be updated on the news feed about who I am. You need a constant update on me in order to connect. So when there's nothing happening, I don't have a whole bunch of viral moments for me to talk about. And when the viral moments I want to share about God, you don't want to hear it. Or sometimes it kind of calms certain narcissists down, but at the same time, they look at it like you're a lost soul. They look at it like you're lost. They're like, oh, okay, this person, they have faith, but you're lost because they look at themselves like God, right? So you're dealing with someone that's constantly interrogating you, and sometimes you're in a position where you almost feel obligated to interact with these people because you're like, if I don't, I've already seen how they behave. They behave like there's something wrong with me. They feel intimidated. They feel like you're monitoring them or something. They feel uncomfortable. They feel like you pay attention, and because they thought you were dumb, they think mostly everyone's dumb. So when they come across people that really pay attention and they don't fear anything, because once you've dealt with the demon, you kind of see all the demons and you're like, you can't really touch me, demon, unless I let you in. And that's what the demon doesn't like. It's the fact that you're not letting it in easily. And that's why it knows there's something up with you, because it's trying to interrogate you and it's not working. It can't come in unless you invite it in, right? So sometimes you feel forced to invite these demons in. But what you will notice as well is that there's certain narcissists that they know what they're doing. They know that you're aware of what they're doing. And when you shut them down, they actually think it's funny. They're like, oh, that's funny. I knew I liked you. Now they try to make it seem like I knew you were on my level because you're not an open book. So you're like me. So they try to use things to persuade you or to force you to like them. And that's going to make you not like them even more. And now they're going to come around you and they're going to say, oh, you don't like me, huh? I could tell you don't like me. And you'll think like, I don't not like you. I would not be your friend. I would not want to get close to you. I've seen enough, right? I'm not going to interrogate you because there's nothing I want from you. So the narcissist almost feels like, oh, this person, I can't interrogate them. And they see right through me and they don't like me. So this must mean that you ran across some evil narcissist who hurt you. So now they're going to come at you with, you've been hurt before, huh? You've dealt with a narcissist before. They might not even say a narcissist. You might, or they might even start telling you, they might even try to subliminally tell you that you've dealt with someone who's exactly like them, and that they know that the way you're behaving is from dealing with someone like them, because they've seen how they've broken other empaths down. So they feel like you're broken and you're a lost cause. And when you show them that you're not broken, they're interrogating you. They're like, yeah, you've been through shit, but you're not stuck in that freaking pit that you were in. So now they're like, okay, you've been hurt, but you're not stuck in that pit that person left you in. But you're also not happy either. You also don't, you'll never be in love like that again. And they get a satisfaction from that. So now they're like, okay, now I know you're not married, or you're not in a serious relationship because someone hurt you. You'll even if you are in a relationship, that guy is probably playing you. So now if they know you're in a relationship, they're like, oh, that guy is most likely playing you, or you're playing them. And I know you're not playing them because I could tell you're a good person. So they most likely are playing you because you're still a good person. Because it's very difficult to find two good people who are together, because we got you outnumbered. We got you outnumbered. It's more of us. So that's kind of just what I wanted to come on here and kind of talk about, because it's something that, I go through all the time. If I go through this, I'm pretty sure everybody goes through it. I have lots of conversations with people where they go through similar things that I go through, but in different ways, because we're different types of people, and they have their own insecurities, and we all have our own insecurities. And once you don't allow those insecurities to define you, you realize that those insecurities never even came from you. They came from other people on how they want you to view yourself. And they force these things on you. They interrogate you. They tell you who you are. I know you killed this person. I know you did this. I know this is who you are. I know you're a thief. I know you came from a broken home. I know that you're poor. I know that I'm richer than you. I know that you'll never be happy. I know that you'll never have a happy family compared to me. I know. So they already have this in their mind, and this is why they interrogate you, and then they try to go for the kill. And that's why it's best, no matter how friendly they seem, to always play the position that you have to play. So if you're working, you have to play that position, that position of that employee, because you're not you cannot be yourself with these people. You just have to play the role that you were assigned, because that's what you're getting paid for. Nothing more, nothing less. Because these people, they hate you. They're jealous. They're envious. If they see you have a nice car, you have something nice, or you worked hard for something, they feel like, if you have this, I should have it. If you do this, I should do it, because I'm better than you. If you could do this, and look at you. Look at how you look. You're worthless. Look at you. You're old. Look at you. You're dumb and young. You don't know nothing. So they already have things in their brain calculated. They're envious. They're copycats. They will not support your business, right? They'll support other people that they feel like are like them, or they feel like they don't have to compete with them. But anybody they feel like is competition, or anybody they feel like they just don't want to see you elevate. Here they go with their bad reviews. Here they go with their bad energy, instead of just not saying nothing, right? They instead of seeing how hard it took you to get to where you're at, or the amount of energy you had to put in to start your own business, all the shit you went through in your life to even get here, they didn't see all that. And even if they know what you've been through, just like the narcissist knew what you went through before you got with them, they don't care. They still want to get over on you, because narcissists are scumbags. And once you've dealt with this type of scumbag, you'll never want to deal with these people again. You're not going to believe them when they say sorry. You're not going to believe them when they say, I went to therapy. You're not going to believe them when they say that they've changed, or they got a disease, or they're sick. You're not going to believe them with nothing, because you've seen them for who they are to their core, when no one is looking, not what they're showing to the world. So the reason the narcissist has so much insight on the empath is because they've interrogated so many empaths, interrogated and exploited. So when people are interrogating you, you don't owe them anything, and it doesn't matter what setting you're at, right? And always know You can share things with them that are meaningless, but even when you share those things, they have meaning that the narcissist is calculating in their brain. And over time, they're going to undermine you. And it's going to be when you least expect it, because you open that door instead of sticking professional around these people. They're gonna find a way. They're gonna ask you for a favor. They're gonna try to make you do something that goes against who you are as a person, and they're gonna make you feel even pressured. And when you don't do it, I'm telling you now, they don't. Yeah, they some of them get mad and make up lies about you for not feeding into it, but some of them, they'll leave you alone because they're like, oh, it didn't work on her. I couldn't scam her. I couldn't get her. Let's go to the next person. Or, some of them they'll switch up. They'll even be respectful because they know you got me. I just got to go to the next person, do it. It's a game to them. I just got to go to the next person. And then some of them, they feel like they had to use so much mental power because they're so dumb to get to you. So those are the ones that are going to fight you and lash out and make up lies. But the other ones, those are dangerous because they're calculating and they're trying to get you back, and they're going to get you back later. So they'll interrogate you. They'll play cool like nothing, right? Just like when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, they'll hoover you, come back like nothing's up, and then they come for the kill again. And you're like, last time you said if I took you back, you wouldn't do this again. And you say you wouldn't do this. Every time they hoover you, you're saying the same shit, repeating yourself. And guess what? They're like, you stop repeating yourself. I'm going to keep doing it over and over again. There's nothing you can do about it. And you're like, well, don't you love me? Don't you this? Don't you that? The narcissist only loves themselves. No normal human being goes around interrogating people like that and playing with people's lives and forcing themselves with people and being with someone that they don't like or don't find attractive, but want to exploit for shit that is materialistic, which, as an empath, once you find peace, you'll know that materialistic things aren't what's going to make you happy in the long run. So for them to do these things, because some of them are so low grade that they think that materialistic things are supposed to make them happy, right? They're competing with you, and a lot of times all the things they're competing you with, you've already had, and that's why they hate you, And then when they achieve the things you had your whole life, they're trying to shit on you, right? They brought you down to their level, and you still manage to find peace, even if you exchange energies with them, you still manage to find peace. But they're over here living your reality, and they can't even handle it. It doesn't bring them joy like they thought it would, because it's constantly, they still have to keep putting on that mask, and then they put that mask on around people that could see right through it. And they're wondering, why do people keep seeing through it? Now they're playing the same games they were playing on a lower level, but playing them over again. And then guess what? You start interrogating people in high places. They don't play that crap. They don't like that. They see right through that, because that's scumbag behavior, right? They see through that, especially if that person if they feel like, hey, I'm just like you, I'm a narcissist like you, but on a larger scale. You can't play those games over here, because I play those games on a whole nother level than you. You're not even from here. You're a poser. So this is why narcissists interrogate you, because they want to know how much you know, and then they give you a false image of what a real person is. They'll tell you, I'm cut from a different cloth, right? They'll tell you, I'm a real one. Real what? What are you real at doing? What's real? Because everything you've been doing is fake. But they think that being in the game is being real, but being real is getting out the game. And then they try to play this persona like they're trying, oh, I'm only doing this because I'm trying to get out the game. You're going to keep doing that forever and stay your ass in the game. because you don't even know any better. You don't even know that you got to pay for the shit that you do. There's no going around it. So another reason why the narcissist likes to interrogate people is because a lot of times when the narcissist is lying or they're doing crap to other people, from my personal experience, right? For example, my narcissistic brother, had a child, abandoned that child, blamed the mother, got into it with me, put his hands on me. And when he goes and he tells a story to people, he makes it seem like I'm this narcissistic person, but he leaves the detail about how he put his hands on me, right? He leaves that part out. The reason he leaves that part out is because he's already repeated that story to many people, to friends, to family, and confused them and even put people against you, right? These people put people against you. And people a lot of times pick the narcissist side because of their status or how they look or whatever the case is, or because this narcissistic woman, she's a pick-me-sha. So when the narcissist expresses what really happens, they feel like what they did was justifiable, right? So they might say you did something to them, so they had to slap you, and they didn't mean to slap you, but you did something so horrible to them. So they'll make an excuse, and when people hear their excuse, their excuses are BS, basically. So in my case, a lot of people turn their back on my brother. A lot of people are like, you're trash. Why would you do that to your sister? Like, right? So when the narcissist realizes that their story is not giving them the type of attention that they were actually seeking, they remake the story, they change the story, they stick to it, and they never validate you. They ignore you, they avoid you, they feel like you're going to hurt them, so they avoid you even more, but they keep hanging on to that false story. So this is why it's in the narcissist's nature and convenience to interrogate you, because you do not know them, and they're trying to interrogate you to know your personality, to learn how to lie to you about their fake image, how to go about their fake image, or if they could be honest about the bad things that they've done. You got to give back, and you're not willing to give back. There's no saving you. There's no saving the narcissist. They've crossed certain lines that people won't cross. They're interrogating people, exploiting them in ways that you will never do to other people. You don't even ask people certain things when you meet them because it doesn't even matter to you. You're not trying to define them by their childhood. You're not trying to define them by their trauma, right? The narcissist is trying to define you by, they're trying to define you by your parents and the other people and the mistakes of other people. They're trying to define you by what's around you instead of who you are as a person. So, I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace, and your healing. I hope that this video was educational and it could lift your spirits up a little bit to know that you're not alone and you're not the only one that has to deal, with these type of people, because they're literally everywhere, every single day. It never stops. There's almost really no avoiding them. And what's crazy is they don't think that they have a problem. That's the sad part. So I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace, and your healing. Also, for next month, I'm giving back to my loyal subscribers, the people who have been following me for a long time. I'm giving back a free 1-hour session next month. So my booking information, all that stuff's in the description. Sending you guys lots of love, light, peace, and your healing. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.